happening. Oh.
Hello and welcome to Strategic Gaming. My name is Mac Taylor, and I am not joined by DJ. He's in bed. I actually have two people who have not done any sort of podcasting with me before. First up is someone who played the game I created called The Social Experiment. She played it twice, and she played a total of 14 competitions and only won one of them. It's Jada Lewis. How you doing, Jada?
Doing good. Pretty cold, but pretty good.
And then a person who has not played the Social Experiment, but I found out really likes to watch strategic, reality game shows. So we have that in common. So we're gonna exploit the hell out of that. It's Tequilla Jaeger. Woo! How you doing?
Hey everybody, I'm doing pretty good. Pretty excited about this. It's my first time, so I can't wait.
All right. So I guess we'll just go ahead and jump right in. We're doing Big Brother 2, which took place in 2001. So I was like 5 years old or something like that during this shit.
Ben, you were 3.
No. I was 5.
You were not 5 in 2001. When were you born?
96.
Yeah, but when's your birthday?
December 20th.
So you were 4.
So I was probably like 4. I was like 4. Whatever. I was a fucking couple months off. All right. How old were you, Jada? Like 3?
Yeah.
And Tequila, how old were you?
7.
Okay, so yeah, we probably weren't watching this during the original airing.
No, sir.
My dad did. My dad watched this when it aired. So Jada, you said this is your first time watching this season?
Yeah. The only Big Brother I've watched other than this is, I think, season 16 that you told me to watch in preparation to do the Social Experiment.
Tequila, what about you? Is this your first Big Brother 2 viewing?
Big Brother 2 viewing, yes, but I also watched Big Brother with my mom, I think for 3 seasons. So.
Okay, so you're familiar kind of with the format.
Uh-huh.
All right. Yeah, this is the backstory on this. Big Brother is fucking all over the world. Started out in Sweden, and it went to all these random little countries, and then it went to Britain where it's huge. It's the shit in Britain.
Oh wow.
But they play it whereas the country votes the people out. The people just try to be good television. Whereas the first season of Big Brother in America, we did that way. We did it. The country voted the people out. And that was boring as fuck to watch in America. I don't know if it was the lack of accents. I don't know. But I watched the whole fucking thing, and it was boring. So for Big Brother 2, we did the whole HOH thing, which becomes how we play Big Brother and how Canada plays Big Brother as well. So that's our backstory. Jada, for episode 1, who stands out to you? Who do you like? Who do you not like?
Episode 1, immediately, I don't think I've got to know enough of the people well enough. But I know immediately that I do like Will. I like Bunky. I like Mike seems pretty cool. He won the HOH. I know immediately that I do not like Kent, and I don't like Nicole. Because Kent is a homophobic asshole, and Nicole just is immediately start trying to cause problems, I think.
Skilla, what about you? Who's your standout people who you like, don't like, right off the bat here?
I agree with Jada on some of this stuff with Mike. I also like Autumn as well. She's pretty cool. The people I really dislike is Nicole right off. She was such a loudmouth trying to already start this whole group. It's like, hey, let's get all in a circle. I just really, I don't like her at all.
Yeah, she, I remember my first time watching this, Nicole, she wants to be the center of attention very fast.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know, watching Big Brother later, you don't want to be the center of attention very fast.
No.
But Nicole was immediately let's all sit around in a circle and talk to each other. And everyone's like, who the fuck is this woman? why she's so loud. One of my favorites in the season is Bunky, just because I know Bunky. I'm friends with Bunky. I've talked to him many times on social media and stuff. Bunky's great. But I was drawn to Will and Boogie. And I really like Cheryl, the mom.
Oh yeah, she seems fun.
Yeah, like she's like the fun mom who you hang
Yeah.
out with. So yeah, right at the bat, they have to do this thing where they go in groups and they have to get beds, and like you see, their sleeping situation sucks because they
Yeah.
got like four actual beds, a couple of like army cots, and then like a sleeping bag that Kent has on the floor.
That's a little rough.
So what did you think of the sleeping situation? But either one of you, whoever wants to jump on that.
Jada, you can go first if you want.
Okay, all right, sure. This is obviously I haven't seen very much Big Brother, so I don't know how crazy the sleeping things are every season. The sleeping bag on the floor as a bed I thought was cruel and unnecessary, but also hilarious.
That's only gonna be like that till the first eviction. You know, whoever gets evicted, they're just gonna take their bed.
Yeah, and so I feel like it should have been used more as like a punishment. Like if you're at the bottom, I think that would have been a more creative use for that. But you know, retrospect or whatever.
Instead, they're like, yeah, we randomly drew some shit, and you know, whoever gets in there gets in there.
Yeah.
Tequila, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it would have been really cool if they would have all had everybody just run into the house and pick their beds instead of just randomly drawing 4 people.
Mhm.
I do agree with like the sleeping bag being, as a punishment, like with Jada. Other than that, I think it's all fair, really. Everything's fair in Big Brother. You win to get where you're at. So.
Mhm.
Yes, because we learned that the HOH gets their private bedroom, which they really sell the shit out of that in this episode. They're like private bedroom, and like we all know later, it's like HOH is so much more than just a bedroom. Like it's like your life. Also, we get her off the bat. Autumn is horny.
Like, that was
big time.
Who was that guy she was in bed with?
Hardy.
Hardy?
No, with Hardy.
That was Hardy. Oh my goodness. Go ahead. I kind of felt bad for him because I felt like he was trying to be nice to her, but also like, what are you talking about? And like
he was not into it whatsoever.
He was like, she was like, how do you feel about like being affectionate with me? And he was like, what are you talking about?
This is day 1 in the house.
That's
like
insane.
They just met each other.
It's crazy.
So can you imagine like knowing someone for like 10 hours and being like, how do you feel about being affectionate with me? Tequila, what are your thoughts on Autumn's horniness?
Yeah, that was a really big thing. Like I picked on it up as soon as she was started. That's why she picked the bedroom that Hardy was in, because he was there, and everybody was talking about how sexy his body was and how perfect it was anyway. So like she's trying to get with Hardy just to get with him, and like she's not thinking about strategy at all at this moment. She's like, there's a hot dude and I just want to sleep with him.
Which, to be fair, like this is still early Big Brother. They didn't quite know what they had with the gameplay. So they're like, we're just going to get a bunch of really horny people. And we're just going to, maybe this show could be like, who's going to fuck?
America would still watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Except it have a much different audience. So it'd be sponsored by some hand lotion company.
Oof.
I took notes on the episode. It's what I'm going to
gotcha.
Bring up these conversations. All right, so we talked a little bit about Nicole. Let's talk more about Bunky. Bunky's trying to keep the fact that he's gay under the radar because like this is 2001 and it's still not the most like you like being the gay guy in the situation wasn't exactly the best thing to be.
Right.
So Jada, then Tequila, just kind of touch on your thoughts of Bunky and his strategy of not wanting to come out as a homosexual.
All right. So Bunky seems like a really nice guy. I thought it was funny how they just kept saying wife and he was like, all I said was I'm married. The scene that stood out to me about it, and then the other thing that really stood out to me was when Kent walked up to him and was like, "You seem cool. Let's talk about how like the gay guy is here and I don't want to be near him." And Bunky was like holding his own. He was like, because if that was me in that situation, I would have like flew off the handle. I've been like, who the F are you? And like, get out of here with your hatred. And Bunky's just like, yeah, I just think we should have respect for other people. It's like really mad kudos to him.
Yeah, like I also sorry. Yeah, I also agree. Like, I mean, being the odd one out really does suck. But on the other hand, he's also playing it safe. I think he's waiting for the right moment to talk about it because he feels like right now, if he does talk about it, it's going to throw his whole mojo off. So, I mean, I do feel bad for him because he's the only one that knows about himself and he can't really open up to anybody and make friends that way and be himself.
Right. I do love his line where he's like, yeah, my people wouldn't be really great if they found out my wife's name's Gray.
I laughed so hard at that. Yeah.
But it's funny because we do see the start of, and it does continue throughout the season, that Kent and Bunky are friends. And like, it's like, oh, I think it maybe makes Kent kind of think about his stances on things. Where like, by day 2 or 3 in the house, if you ask Kent, like, who do you trust the most in the house? He's gonna say Bunky. And you're like, oh, but you don't know that he's gay. But like, now if he'd have like, if Bunky would have came in the house and been like, yeah, I'm the gay guy, Kent would never have talked to him at all.
Sure. It's a really good strategy on Bunky's part.
It's a good strategy, and it ends up like really benefiting his alliances in the house. Although Bunky's ride or die is Monica, and I love me some Monica.
Yeah, Monica's pretty awesome.
We don't get a lot of her in this episode, but like and I'm friends with her outside of the house too. I know her on social media as well. And so she's the ball of energy. She's like in your face. She's like loud, but not in a Nicole way where it's obnoxious. It's like you want to love Monica because she's so great. So yeah, we get a little bit of her, not a lot. I mean, there's 12 people in this season.
Yeah.
Which is, now we're used to 16, so it's like that's kind of a low number. It's almost like starting in the jury stage of the game. Let's see, what else do we get here? Oh, we get the thing where they have the grocery competition. So they have to put all the groceries into this car, and then they all have to get into the car. And then the last one out of the car gets to keep the car. So, Jada, your thoughts on walking through that? And then
all right. So my one, at first I was thinking about like if that was like our group of friends, like me and you that we hung out with in high school, we literally all piled into the car, way too many of us, definitely not super legal anyway. So like if that was our group of friends with that challenge, like it would have gone so much longer. I know, like I would have just been like, okay, fine. Like,
we fit 12 people in a 2-door Cavalier. I'm sure we could have managed to fit in there.
Yeah, like that would have been like easy. But it was interesting seeing the first challenge was such an easy one, but to me that it looked like really easy. Even not comparing my own experiences, because they got it done really fast. Again, one of the reasons I didn't care for Kent right off the bat was because, I mean, I know it's a competition. I know it's not about compassion. But, I mean, right off the bat, he was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to be this person about this. And I'm not saying he should have just given up. And I'm not. But, again, like, everybody else was kind of like, come on, Kent. Like, she's a single mother and she doesn't have a car. And, like, you're just mad because your wife's car is 9 years old. But, like, she has a son, man. Like, show some compassion, show some heart. And I know it's a competition, but still, it just was hard to watch somebody just be so, just ignoring everybody else. Yeah, cold. Thank you.
All right, Tequilla, what were your thoughts on that, on this whole car situation?
Yeah, it would been kind of hard. I mean, coming from, because I've never packed 12 people into some kind of thing, car, but it would have lasted so much longer if, again, Nicole wouldn't have opened her mouth and would have been like, hey, last person in this vehicle is going to be voted off. Like, no, that's not how you play that. That's why there was 2 people left. But see, then I side with Jada on the Kent thing, and like, just let her have it. Like, you're old, you're maybe retired, who knows? Like, you can get money to get a new vehicle. Like, she really needed that vehicle.
Yeah, although I feel like she was really trying to sell that, like, it was like, so you had Cheryl in the middle, and you had Kent, and you had Autumn. Like, Autumn saying this sob story, and Kent saying his sob. And Cheryl's like, I gotta get out of this car because I look terrible right now. She's like, I was just sitting in here seeing how long I was gonna go, and now I'm all sad. So
yeah, the stories were a touch that weren't necessary if Nicole didn't open her mouth so early.
That's true, because like you said, when everyone's in the car just fine, and Nicole's like, yeah, whoever gets the car, we're just gonna vote out. And everybody fucking scattered. They were gone out of that car. Which, I mean, I would do the same thing. Because, and this is BB2, there is no power of veto. So whoever the HOH nominates, you're on the block. There is no getting off of it.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Veto comes in season 3, but it doesn't become the golden power of veto till season 4.
Wow.
So, like, Big Brother 2, if you're on the block, then you're pretty much fucked. Because, Jada, just imagine how differently some of our seasons would have played out if there were no vetoes.
Yeah, that's insane, because a lot of the time, a lot of our strategy going in was, if you win the veto and they put me up, you're going to have to veto me out, and we'll put so-and-so up, and we'll get them out.
Cole would have went home like 17 times.
I know that we used the veto on Cole so often, but it was so fun to watch him play.
Okay, we were gonna backdoor Cole in the final 7, but somebody in this group decided she was gonna give him the fucking veto and send my whole game into a back spiral.
Listen, Ben. Okay,
and I'm sitting here mouthing to you like, "Don't do it, don't do it," and you're like, "What? What's happening?" I'll just give the veto to Cole because I don't know what you're saying, and I'm like, "No, I'm not going to shout out in front of him like, hey, don't save this guy," but I'm trying to tell you, like, and then what ends up happening, Jada, is you go out at Final 4, even though I was going to take you to 2 instead of Nate, and then Cole gets 3rd place, and I end up getting 2nd place because I pissed off Big Ben.
Listen,
we had a beautiful story we were writing, and you fucked it up.
Let's get a few things straight here, Ben. Okay, for one, how am I supposed to know not to give Cole a veto when you're not getting me in on your game plan? For one. And for two, why would I not give the power of veto to Cole? He's one of, like, we've been close friends for years. As far as I'm concerned.
Kristen and Dave, it had to be unanimous between the 4. Kristen and Davey said no use. Obviously, Cole said use because he's on the block. So you could have just went with the majority. No, you had to tie the shit. And then I'm like, well, maybe if it's a tie, we won't use it. And then Davey's like, well, fuck it. If Jada feels so strongly about this, I'll go over here. And I'm like, I'm watching this all go down. It's like, no.
It was still entertaining. It was just not what you wanted.
We'll get back to talking about the Big Brother 2, but I just had to vent about how, sometimes your best laid plans, someone opens their mouth and they don't work. Or
someone doesn't open their mouth and tell us their plans so that they can work. Ben, thank you.
Most of those competitions and votes happened like 10 minutes in between each other. I didn't have time to talk to anybody. I talked to Kristen about the back door, but I didn't get a chance to talk to you about the back door.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Anyway.
Big Brother 2.
Back to the game where they got paid more money than we did to play that game. What do you guys think about Justin? No one has talked about Justin.
Jada,
then.
Yeah, he didn't really make a big impact. He just seemed like, I honestly don't even remember that much about him. He was just one of the dudes. I'm pretty sure he was lifting weights at some point, and that's
He's got fucked up teeth. Did you notice that?
nope. But it was pretty bad quality. So
He just reminds me. Have you seen BoJack Horseman?
no.
Tequila, have you seen BoJack Horseman?
I've seen it like maybe like 5 minutes when Cole's watching it on YouTube, but other than that, no.
Well, there's this character. She has these brothers, and they're all like very like bro-y dudes, and that's who Justin reminds me of. He's like, yeah, I had a chick on the side, and I had this other chick on the side, and a chick on the block. And
wait, is Justin the one who said that? He'd like the 3 girls in 24 hours?
He slept with 3 girls in 24 hours. Yeah.
Okay, that's who he is. Yeah, it's just kind of just like a dude bro. Yeah.
Tequila, thoughts on Justin?
He had a really harsh accent. You know, it's really hard to understand him. Like, that's what really caught me. It was like, yeah, this is such a New Yorker kind of dude. Like, you can tell he's almost like all that surfer, you know, hey, dude, you know, what's going on kind of thing. Like, he was, like, kind of laid back, though, still. So, like, yeah, like, I'm not really getting a what kind of vibe from him right now yet.
Right on. Let's see here. We talked about the car. We talked about Nicole. A lot of my notes are about Nicole, and that'll be kind of a thing for a while.
She gets a lot of attention.
She does get a lot of screen time, so you know if it shows anything, if you're not gonna really try to be strategic, just be a bitch, and you'll get cameras on. I think they took a poll during this season of like who the most popular players were, and I think Nicole was bottoming out that list.
I would not be surprised. She's not there to win a popularity contest, that's for sure.
So they played Spin the Bottle. This is a thing that took like a few minutes of screen time. And that's where Justin talks about sleeping with 3 girls in one day. And we see Kent sits out of this because he doesn't want to talk sexual stuff with these younger people, which we'll do Tequila, then Jada. What do you think about, first he wins his car, which pisses everybody off, and now he's going to sit out of this socializing that's happening. What is your thoughts on, let me put it this way. Who's playing the best game so far? I mean, this is episode 1. Things could change drastically. But Tequila, tell me who's playing the best game and who's playing the worst game. And then we'll go to Jada. Tequila and Jada.
Right now, like, even though I diss on Nicole, like, she's getting herself out in the open, though, and, like, making everybody know her so far. She's, like, the second to best for me. The first to me would probably be, I'm not really for sure. I think, like, Shannon, maybe, because she's kind of, like, getting with the bros, maybe, like, trying to get herself out there. The worst would definitely be Kent, for sure, because he's always, but, yeah, like, he's outcasting himself. He's, you know, down with this card, not letting anybody get it, not trying to get in with the group at all. Like, he's just an outcast itself. So he's definitely the worst player so far.
Jada?
A couple of thoughts. I think I agree with her that Ken is definitely at the bottom. He is not there to socialize. It doesn't seem like. It seems like he's just there to play the game, which isn't necessarily wrong in Big Brother, but you still have to socialize to an extent, and that's because kind of like the point of a social game like this.
Which, again, this is the first time, so it's like we know now. We're like, yes, this is
looking back.
Literally, they are writing history as they do this. So like, people can look at Big Brother 2 and be like, okay, yes, Kent, don't do. Or like, other people, do that. Like, so like, and again, he says like his daughter dared him to go on the show. So, which I don't know. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know they could be like, I dare you to go on television. And you're like, hey, television, can I be on a show? And they're like, yeah.
My daughter dared me.
And they're like, oh, your daughter dared you. Well, right this way, sir. Like,
stamp of approval.
I would have had a daughter years ago if that was the case.
Goodness gracious. That's the funny thing is the one time that I was kind of on Kent's side though is even though it probably is to his detriment that he sat out, as I'm definitely the type of person who like would rather not play a game of spin the bottle, truth or dare.
But it is weird that he sat like right off to the side.
Yeah. So like, but I would have been like, I'm gonna go take a nap, and then Kent was just like,
he's
I'm
literally
gonna watch from the outside.
Yeah, like he's looming over this conversation, which would be, I think, a little more unsettling than just going away.
Yeah, I think it was weird. I think the person playing the most standout game right now, I think Will probably stands out a lot because everybody can kind of tell what he's hot and smart, and that helps.
He's a doctor. He's a doctor.
Yeah, and he like took a year off from his residency to go to like business and law school. So like everybody immediately knows like, oh, like this is the guy. He's gonna be like the smart one here. I think Bunky's playing a good game because he's just being nice to everyone. And then Nicole, again, I agree with Tequilla on that one as well, is that she is not being nice, but she's playing a good game because she is, at least for this season, is getting her name heard.
Okay, and then we back to the spin the bottle ordeal. So Nicole dares Boogie to go behind Krista, pull his pants down, and like spank his ass.
Yeah, that's a weird dare.
Such a specific set of instructions.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he does it to his credit. Like Mike Boogie will not turn down such a request. But here's a question. We'll go Tequilla, then Jada. Most likely to form a showmance. Who do you think's going to hook up this season? You know it always happens in Big Brother. So Tequilla, tell me the pair you think is most likely to hook up, and then we'll go Jada.
Not going to be specific on the dude, but I know it's going to have to do with Autumn, downright fourth, just her as the main girl so far. But Shannon, she might hook up maybe with like a Will or maybe Hardy, one of the boys. Like I would say Hardy and a girl, or Autumn and a boy. I'm not really for sure exactly like who the main couple would be though, but I say one of those two.
Jada, on you.
I think I agree. Autumn seems like the person who at the moment is putting out the most vibes for a showmance. I don't feel like Hardy's reciprocating it right away, so I don't know if it'll be Hardy. But I do also think that Nicole really wanted to see Mike's ass. So
yeah, because if you really think about how that works, is his ass is facing her.
Yeah, so she wanted to see his butt.
And she's married.
Okay, she recently got married 2 months ago, so
Friday the 13th in Elvis's chapel.
Yeah, she was very specific. Like, we've been in the house for 20 minutes, and I know where you got married.
That's, so that was interesting. Yeah, I think probably, I mean, everybody else, most of the people seem like they're kind of, like, married or, like, maybe not both, but more than I was expecting are married. So, I mean, I think Autumn is probably throwing off, like, a good vibe for that. Maybe Shannon or Krista. But I mean, now we're just naming all the girls, so
I would definitely have the hots for Krista.
I mean, she's really pretty, so like it wouldn't be unheard of.
And she's got that southern accent, and I'm just like, yeah.
That southern accent gets you every time.
It sure does. Okay, okay. This is actually strategy talk, which is like unheard of in the first episode of a show. Kent and Justin are kind of like Kent is pushing it. Where he's like, you and me, like we got like me and you, we get the rest of these people out. Me, you, and Bunky. Who you feeling? We need to get a 4. And what my theory on why he says that is I think right at this time Survivor Borneo had just aired, so there was that 4-person alliance in Survivor Borneo, and he's like, oh, I need a 4-person alliance to dominate this game. But I don't think he has any clue on who to actually trust.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll go Jada, then Tequilla. Thoughts on the alliance that Kent is super pushing?
Seems a little forced, especially like week 1, night 1, to already be talking about alliance. I mean, I'm a big fan of strategy and alliances, but you don't even know these people. You've already ostracized yourself, and like the fans I already know don't like you, and so you're already trying to like force this weird like all male alliance. And it's only the first season of the show where it's really kind of like this, because you said season 1 of like the American Big Brother was not really the Big Brother as we know it today. So I mean,
God no.
yeah. So he's immediately trying to do all these things because he thinks it's the smart thing to do. But I think it would have been smarter to wait a couple days before trying to like forge anything.
Right, and like it's different, and like see for the social experiment for us, it's a day, so you're literally trying to make like week-long relationships in an hour.
Right.
Whereas like, these people have like 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it a couple of days, settle in the house, get a feel on who these people are, and then maybe you talk about teaming up with people. Because if you team up with people who you just met, you might not even end up liking them, or they might do something completely crazy that completely offsets your game.
Yeah.
So it's such a risk.
Yeah.
To do it this early. Tequilla, what thoughts there?
Yeah, I agree on both of you guys as well. I also think though, like since he did it this early on the first day, that it could turn against him real quick. Like Will could be like, "Hey, so can't pull me aside," and now he wants to buddy up with 2 other people. I don't know how you feel about that. I mean, Will could do so much stuff with what he was confronted with Kent. So I mean, Kent really, I think, really screwed himself over in just that one day.
Mm.
Well, and it seems like all the other like the younger guys are pretty close to each other because like the next day, and like this is like proceeding forward with Cheryl's like, yeah, we're all so close. I mean, like, of course, the mom is like, yes, we're all so close. We love all of these people so much. And Monica's talking about, oh yeah, the guys are all like, they're all the young guys together or whatever. But this is a game, and I plan on being here. And I'm like, you go, girl. Like, you acknowledge this shit. You take it down. Yeah. Then we get the first head of household, which Jada, you may recognize this kind of competition was our first head of household in the social experiment 1. The basically, who would you rather?
Oh yeah. Is that how we got that?
That is where that competition came from. A competition you did not win.
That's maybe why I blocked it out, Ben.
But see, this one, that they were like, well, we need something to cause some drama just in case these people don't. So it's like, I'll go through some of the labels and like, so the smartest, they picked Will because that makes sense. The smartest. Sexiest, Cheryl, and I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see that.
And Kent is the one who said it, so I mean,
she's older, he's older, probably makes sense more. Loudest, they said was Nicole, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Kindest, Bunky, it's like, yeah, okay. Smelliest went to Autumn.
It's like, well, Nicole was like, because of that one thing you told me in private. Like, what?
It's like, why would you say that to a group of people?
Just say it's one of the guys. Like, you're sweaty because you worked out, so.
Right, because like, no offense to Bunky, but he's like kind of hairy. Like you kind of see it in his DRs, like he's got hair like all over the place. So it's like maybe like you get sweaty sometimes and you kind of get a little smelly, Bunky, and like that would make a little bit of sense. Don't be like, hey Autumn, that thing you told me in private, like that you told me not to tell anybody else, that thing, you know what I'm talking about, you dirty person. Like that, she has to explain that at some point now.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, there's Nicole doing some weird shit. They said the loudest, like they got loudest again, and they're like Boogie, and I'm like, yeah, Boogie is probably the second loudest person.
Yeah, but loud in such a different way.
A likable way.
Yeah.
Horniest, they said Hardy, and I don't get that.
I don't know. Was he walking around shirtless? I don't.
I mean, if you like Hardy walking around shirtless, that's what he's good for. Like, I don't know if he has much more of a character archetype. He's like, I work out and I don't wear a shirt.
I don't
That's
know
about
if that
it.
qualifies as horniest, but this is where we are, guys.
If not wearing a shirt makes you horny, then like 95% of guys in the summertime are just horny. Nope, never mind. That makes sense. That makes sense.
They might have been onto something on Big Brother 2.
Maybe they did. I just didn't get it till now. Crude? They said Monica was crude. I was like, okay, that's a little harsh for Monica.
Did they say Monica was crude?
Yes.
That sounds wrong.
And we did not get like hardly any Monica in this episode. So it's like, I don't know where that came from. Bitchiest, they put Kent in that spot. And it's like, that one didn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, he's kind of an asshole. Well, I guess they didn't have an asshole slot.
Yeah, so like if Kent was a woman, then bitchiest would have fit. So it's just because everybody associates bitchiest with females.
And this is great because Bunky gets hottest and he says boogie.
And still everybody just laughs. They don't even suspect him of being the gay one. They're just like, haha, Bunky.
Like, oh, that's a great joke. And
he's so like, funny. Yeah. In reality, he's seen that ass.
He was there, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Bravo, Bunky. They said the vainest, which is like the most conceited, would be Hardy. So he's the horniest and the most conceited out of this group, apparently.
What a good
which okay, yeah. And then so it comes down to Cheryl or Boogie. And so my question for you two is, we know who wins, but out of Cheryl or Boogie, who would you have picked to be HOH? Jada, we'll start with you.
I don't think I would have picked Cheryl. I think I probably would have also gone with Boogie because Cheryl reminds me too much of like a mom from the 90s, but also, have you ever seen like those old like fitness trainer videos?
She does kind of look like that.
So I think she would have been like seemed too much like a mom, and like I would have felt like I don't know if I want like my mother running this household. So I think I also would have picked Boogie because he's like fun and he did like a creative rap. So that was interesting to watch.
All right, Tequila, what about you?
Yeah, see, I was gonna go with Cheryl, but like now I really feel like Boogie is the better option. You know, would be the better option because he would make everything more exciting rather than Cheryl. It'd probably been a lot it would probably been really boring going there. She probably wouldn't have made a lot of connections as a Boogie would be because he's more out there than Cheryl. So I mean, I'm siding more with Boogie now than I was Cheryl.
All right, well, as the history holds, the first ever head of household in Big Brother history, and all of Big Brother was Mike Boogie. And he is not happy about these noms. And, like, if you know Boogie nowadays, the fact that he gets to send somebody home and crush their dreams is amazing to him. So the fact that he's like, man, I really feel bad about, like, sending someone out of his house. I'm like, that's not Mike Boogie whatsoever. So, but he gets to see his HOH room, which is a lot smaller than like the HOH rooms now. Like now, it's much more. But it's basically just like a normal like room with a decent bed, a robe, and like some snacks and some champagne. That's it.
And maid service. Ben, don't forget the maid service.
Do they have maid service in the Big Brother house? Because last time I checked, they didn't.
No, the HOH room.
Yeah, that's what it comes with. The HOH is maid service.
Come on, man.
Crazy. So here's my question. And then we'll close out this episode and we'll pick this back up Saturday. What's your guys' first of all, what's your guys' scheduling Saturday? So I know what kind of time this episode might be.
Well, I get my work schedule tomorrow. So I don't know yet, but probably the same as tonight. I'll probably be off at 11.
Okay. Tequila?
Okay, yeah, 11 works with me. I'm fine. I'm off that weekend, so I'm good.
Sweet. I am also off, so I'll be at Brett's house doing that podcast, so I won't be here. um, so who do you think Boogie will nominate? Jada first. Who's the two? Because there's no veto, so who's the two?
Oh man, who has like stood out as somebody who he would? I think he's gonna really struggle with it because I don't know. He's probably gonna put up a guy and a girl just to be fair because he doesn't want that responsibility. He's probably gonna put up like I know I would want to put up Kent, but I don't know if Boogie would put up Kent because I don't know if Boogie spent enough time with him to be like, oh, I don't know, he's an asshole. So he might put up one of the beefy guys to like thin out the male competition. And then, I don't know, maybe Shannon went and got along with them. He wouldn't put up Cheryl. Maybe Nicole?
It's like Nicole and like Hardy?
Yeah, maybe.
What's your go with?
Yeah.
Okay, Tequilla, what about you? Who you think Boogie's going to nominate?
I would definitely say Nicole for one. I mean, I think anybody in the HOH position would put Nicole in first off because everybody just wants to get her out of there. For the guys, I mean, I could probably see Hardy maybe, but I was going with Jada with Kent. I would put up too, but I mean, I could see Hardy and Nicole go and be the two.
Well, all right. Be sure that was our first this was fun. I like doing this kind of open forum of just discussing strategy, especially when we get a little deeper in the game. There's going to be a lot of like hot topic issues to discuss. Especially this season is 2001, and there's a big, huge event in American history happening in 2001 that we'll eventually get to talk about as well. That affects the Big Brother house. So yeah, make sure you guys watch episode 2 by Saturday. We'll be discussing that, and we'll get to see Boogie's nominations, see if you guys were right, wrong. Yeah, that's about it. So thanks for joining in. Hopefully we'll get in a little easier next time, Tequila. We won't have to go through all the trials and tribulations. All right, for Strategic Gaming, my name is Mac Taylor. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.